Your dog is lying on the floor, and there they are, quietly licking its paw. Nothing dramatic, that small repetitive movement most people barely notice. No noise, no urgency, quietly licking its paw. Just that small repetitive movement most people barely notice. Or maybe you've seen it last longer. A minute, then another. Then you call their name, quietly. They stop for a second, pausing its licking, and then go right back to it. These all look like the same behavior, casually cleaning its paws. But they're not. Look at the dog licking in a quiet, empty hallway. Different state. The dog casually cleaning its paws, happy and loose. The dog slowly licking in a quiet room, focused on that small repetitive movement. The dog that can't seem to stop, fast, intense, repetitive, are often running completely different processes, different gears. And once you see the difference, you look closer, with insight. And once you see the difference, that small habit starts to look very different, inside. The first version we need to understand. 1. The normal version. Sometimes paw licking is exactly what it looks like, a simple grooming act. Dogs groom. Sometimes paw licking is exactly what it looks like. They clean their paws after a walk, returning home. They clean their paws after a walk. They remove dirt. Normal grooming. They settle themselves before resting. Part of a normal grooming routine. Short, occasional licking, especially tied to a clear moment, is part of that. Short, occasional licking is part of that. Nothing to fix, nothing to analyze. But that's only one version of the behavior. The normal grooming routine. A shift in focus. When repetition takes over. There's a point where something subtle changes. The shift. The licking doesn't just happen, it continues, like a metronome. It becomes rhythmic, focused, a wave of steady movement, harder to interrupt, intensely focused on the paw. And when that shift happens, the behavior stops being about the paw and starts being about the state of the dog, internal regulation. In both humans and animals, repetitive actions can regulate the nervous system. They create predictability, something simple for the brain to hold on to. They reduce internal noise, clearing the scribbles in the mind. They give the brain something simple to hold on to, a perfect circle. Licking does all of that at once, soothing green glow of relief. Which means sometimes your dog isn't cleaning anything. It's trying to feel different, calm. The physical loop, a biological loop. There's a physical mechanism underneath this that makes the behavior especially effective. Inside the paw. Licking stimulates nerve endings in the skin, small signals to the brain. That sensory input travels back to the brain, creating a feedback loop, connection. Repetitive behaviors like this can trigger mild calming responses, reinforcing the action itself, which is why once it starts, it can keep going. A biological loop. Not because the paw needs attention, it's a tool they use quietly. Not because the paw needs attention, because the brain does. Now we look deeper at 4, the emotional layer. This is where things get misread. We look for answers in the wrong places. Mild stress, boredom, frustration, internal states that need attention. Boredom, frustration, reaching for something reliable, a tool. Anticipation, even low-level anxiety, reaching for something that works. Not extreme, not obvious, looking perfectly normal on the outside. Just enough to create a need for regulation, balancing the system. And the dog reaches for something that works. A reliable tool, something always available, something reliable, its own body, spotlight. But look closer, fight, but sometimes it really is the paw. There's another version that looks almost identical from the outside, side by side. And this is where context matters. Small details around the dog. Allergies, irritation, physical discomfort from the environment. Dry skin, a small injury you can't see yet. It really is the paw. Dogs don't separate physical discomfort from emotional response. Merged. They attend to both the same way. They focus on the area. Intense focus. So not every case is psychological. Sometimes it's physical, not psych. And knowing which is less about the behavior, looking closely, and more about everything around it. The room, the environment, context. Let's look at the missed detail. Sixth, the detail most people miss. The difference isn't in the licking itself. The motion is the same. It's in how the rest of the dog looks while it's happening. The posture. A relaxed dog will stay soft, loose, responsive, soft eyes. A dog using licking to regulate often looks different, fixed, intense gaze. A dog using licking to regulate often looks different, more fixed, repetitive, less aware. Same movement, different state, relaxed versus regulating. Understanding the tool. 7. What your dog is actually doing. When you step back, paw licking stops being a single behavior. It becomes a tool, a way to manage physical sensation. A wrench, a way to manage physical sensation, comfortable, peaceful sensation. A way to regulate emotional states, sometimes both at once. Balance. which is why trying to label it as normal or problem misses the point. Labeling, it's neither. It's information, constant streams of data from the dog. And your dog is offering it constantly. A happy tail, a quiet signal. Here's the part that changes how you see it, an insightful yellow shift. Your dog isn't trying to communicate in a way that's obvious. Soulful eyes. It's not escalating. It's not asking for attention directly. A flat line. It's adjusting itself quietly, using something small, repetitive, quiet. Using something small, something repetitive, something easy to miss. Ripple. And if you only notice it when it becomes excessive, the end of the signal. Warning. You're seeing the end of the signal, not the beginning. Worried realization. Because the beginning is subtle. A tiny green seedling of a signal. Subtle. A few extra seconds, a slightly longer pause. Passage of time, seconds. A behavior that lingers just a little more than it used to. Lingering shadows. That's where it starts. A small click, a simple beginning. Press start. And that's where understanding actually happens. Light bulb moment. Understanding. If you want to understand your dog like this, understand their heart, warmth. If you want to understand your dog like this, subscribe. Action button. Because there's a lot more happening in your dog than it seems. The neighborhood.